Hey, this is David Plotz, CEO of CityCast. I have a favor to ask before we get to today's conversation. We're doing our annual listener survey, and it would really help us out if you took it. And even if you took it last year, we'd be grateful if you took it again, because we can't use last year's data. Please go to citycast.fm/survey to take the survey. It's only 7 minutes long, we know, because we timed it. That's citycast.fm/survey. And when you take the survey, you'll also be eligible to win a $250 Visa gift card and CityCast swag, that great CityCast swag. citycast.fm/survey.
Today on CityCast Portland, it's all of our top picks for the month of February in food, entertainment, and everything in between. Joining me on the show are our very own producers, John Atariani and Julia Fiaioni. It's Thursday, January 30th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. John, Julia, thanks for joining me.
Hey, Claudia.
Hello.
If you're new to the show, our monthly guides are something we started doing just to feel a bit more connected to our city, because it's so easy to get stuck in a routine and forget about all the cool stuff happening around you. So hopefully after you listen to today's show, you'll walk away with some new ideas for how to have the best February possible. Mm-hmm. So let's just jump in. This is the part where we talk about this month's obsession or an event that we're really excited about.
Okay, I'm going to jump in.
Yeah, why don't you jump in?
I'm talking about Dumpling Week, and this year it's February 7th through the 15th. This is actually the 11th year that Portland's done this, hosted by the Oregonian. And the dishes are all under $14. It's happening all over the city, basically. A bunch of restaurants come together to come up with a special dumpling dish just for this week. I think personally dumplings are one of the best cold weather snacks, so I love that it's in February as opposed to the other food weeks that we have, like wings and burgers and you name it. But Dumpling Week is especially interesting because the definition of dumpling varies a lot, more than any other food weeks. So there's the classic soft dough Chinese dumplings, but there's also Italian gnocchi, and then Porque No on North Mississippi and Southeast Hawthorne are doing empanadas as dumplings, which I was very surprised to see. But my picks, specifically the two that I want to try, because I always try to pick a couple. First one, buffalo shrimp dumplings from Oma's Hideaway on Southeast Division. I'll just read a little bit about what that entails. It's crispy shrimp and pork sumai, buffalo chili crisp, miso blue cheese, pickled celery, and radish herb salad. Right up my alley. And then the second one is crispy feta dumplings from Blue Toes on Southeast Belmont, which is a Greek restaurant. It's fried phyllo dough, feta, garlic, honey, everything spice, and mint, which kind of sounds like it's leaning more towards a dessert. Sounds incredible. What are you guys thinking about this?
Last month, my pick of the month was dumplings as well. Because I was all about the kachka dumplings.
Yeah, I was like, didn't we just do this? Didn't we just do dumplings?
And you have clearly blown mine out of the water. You're like, I see you one dumpling and raise you all the dumplings in all of Portland. This looks great.
I want to shout out Papi Chulos, which I've never been, but their dumpling submission for Mexican cuisine is a chochoyote. Which I've never seen cooked outside of someone's kitchen. And it's basically a masa dumpling. So just imagine like the stuff that you make a tamal out of, that dough. So just imagine it delicately cooked in a broth. It's going to be so awesome. So just incredible. I know, because you said porque no, and people were like, oh, I don't want to stand in line. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to shout out, if you don't want to stand in line at porque no, check out Papi Chulos, because I've never heard of it, so I'm assuming others haven't either.
Yeah, there was a lot of names on the list that I wasn't familiar with, and the dish you described just sounds amazing.
Cool. Well, John, what about you?
Well, most of my month is actually going to be eaten up because I'm moving to a new house in Portland. I guess breaking CityCast news. I am finally leaving St. John's and moving into a new house in Humboldt. sort of off of North William Street. So still in the same district with you, Claudia, still have the same representatives, but I am going to be on my way out of St. John's this month. But before I completely uproot my life, the thing that I have my eye on is actually coming up next week. It is the 20th anniversary of the film Dig. You know Dig, Claudia. We talked about this the other day.
We've talked about this extensively. Okay. Yeah.
So back in 2004, this documentary came out charting the rise of the bands The Dandy Warhols and the Brian Jonestown Massacre. And it's sort of the story of the two lead singers and their love-hate relationship and just all of the crazy, crazy drama that happens as they're touring and becoming famous and like getting into fights. It's just this outrageous, amazing sort of road tour band movie. And they're coming out with a 20th anniversary event, actually. So they're going to be showing an expanded version of this film at the Hollywood Theater coming up on Monday, February 3rd. There's like an extra half hour of footage. There's like a new narration. And at this showing at the Hollywood, there's going to be a couple people from both the bands there, like doing a Q&A, looking back at this completely crazy period of their lives when they were skyrocketing into fame and like kind of falling apart.
I do want to say, though, that you don't have to like these bands to enjoy the documentary because I, for one, came in. It was one of those things, you know, when you watch something when you're kind of sick and you're just like, whatever. And it was on Netflix. This was so long ago. And I was like, yeah, all right, I don't know. You know, I've heard of these bands and I knew there was a Portland connection. So I was like, maybe I'll see my street, you know? So I was like, I'll watch it. And I was captivated from beginning to end. And I never considered myself a fan of either band. I think I described it to John and Rachel, our newsletter editor, during a conversation as like a TLC reality show for people who normally would not want to watch a reality show because there is like this underlying tension throughout the whole thing. There's an arc. It's just so freaking good. You're just like riveted. It feels like good television, even though it's a documentary. It's just trashy enough so anyone walking in would be into it.
These people are so charismatic and they're behaving so badly.
And so like, good looking too.
And so good looking and like such jerks. It's amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, I love it. Well, my obsession this month is actually, this is a little meta. It's how crazy packed full of events February actually is, because if we're basing expectations from, let's say, last month, I wasn't expecting much because traditionally January is kind of a dud on account of everyone being so burnt out by the holidays. And I don't know about you guys, but last month when I was like, oh, well, let's get our guide together, I was just like, there's nothing.
Yes. Yeah.
Stay home. I don't know. But there's so much stuff. And not only is it happening all over our area, it has been happening for a while now, every February. Like, you know, I'm sure we can immediately think of Portland's yearly Winter Lights Festival, which is starting the second week of February. But there's also like ski races, group nature hikes, beer, seafood, wine festivals, Fisher poet gatherings. There's so much community that is gathered around putting on these really awesome yearly February events. Like, did you guys know that February is now officially Oregon Truffle Month?
Ooh, no. For like truffle hunting or truffle eating or both?
All of it.
Oh.
It was designated last year by Governor Kotek. So there's dinners, events, educational stuff surrounding it all happening pretty much all up and down the coast and the I-5 corridor. I wanted to point out specifically the Joriad North American Truffle Dog Championship in Eugene. But I also wanted to shout out the Subtle Lodge Winter Beer Festival. John, I don't know if you've ever been to Subtle Lodge. The reason I pointed out to John is because he and I used to work at OPB, and Subtle Lodge was a place that I feel like a lot of OPBers would go to.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard of it.
I don't know Subtle Lodge.
Yeah,
no.
It's in Sisters. It's in Central Oregon, and it's just like a really good middle post. Like when you're going to Eastern Oregon or to the other side of the state, we would stay at Subtle Lodge. And it was like this OPB secret that we were all I forgot, John, you were a weekend.
Yeah. So you were like going out and doing like weird reporting trips, and I was just pouring myself coffee and going into the studio 5 days a week. So
at 3 in the morning.
You all would go to the Subtle Lodge?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I literally did not mean to make it sounded so mean now, John. I'm just like, John, like when OPB would pay for us to stay at the Subtle Lodge, and you're like, never once did I.
Never got to stay at the Subtle Lodge.
Just rub it in.
Oh, man. Anyhow, it's pretty cool, John. You should check it out.
Yes, I'll put it on my list.
So anyhow, this is what's happening this month. Because obviously not enough people know about it.
Yeah.
It's out in Sisters, so it's a few hours away. It's freaking gorgeous. Like there's rooms and cabins on site that are designed with an eye for people like us. They want Portlanders to go. So there's excellent food, good drinks, and the people who run it are freaking sweethearts. Like if you've never been and you want a local winter getaway, this might be a great opportunity to go check it out because at this beer festival, there's going to be 45 breweries that are convening under a heated tent. There's going to be fire pits and grilled food. And if that sounds fun, I would start booking a place to stay right now. Also, like if you're just like, I don't want to, drive in the snow or whatever, go check it out in the summer. It has like grown up summer camp vibes, because it's all based around a lake.
Oh.
So there's like a dock and there's like a boat house and it's so cute. Like you have to go. And especially you, John, since I thought you had already gone.
Now that I know that all of my friends are hanging out there without me, I guess I gotta go check it out.
It's okay. We can go without Claudia.
I stayed there like 4 times.
You were out in the field a lot more than I was.
I was always out in the field, yeah.
So funny.
Anyhow, February is jam-packed with amazing stuff. So I'm actually going to link to a Portland Monthly article that had this like awesome array of stuff to do all over Oregon. So if you're feeling adventurous, even in February, you can have a really cool time. Well, let's take a quick break here. And when we return, what we're hoping to eat or drink this month.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off select styles, plus a professional measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right, guys, what are you hoping to eat or drink this month? What are your picks?
All right, so I got one for you. This one's called Tap Tap PDX. And if you recognize the name, they are actually a new brick and mortar. They opened in October from a food cart that was on North Williams. It's a Haitian restaurant now located on Northeast Sandy. And it's a mother-son duo, both from Haiti. I'm not super familiar with Haitian food myself, but because it's in my neighborhood, I've walked by what feels like a million times. And every single time I'm on my way to go do something else, I get like jealousy through the window because I wish I was inside eating whatever everyone's eating, because everyone just looks like they're having the best time. Some of the things that caught my eye, first of all, fried taro root fritters, which sounds incredible. And then another thing was their fried plantains filled with pork and shrimp and spicy pickled carrots and cabbage. They also have like different types of grilled fish and like a marinated goat meat. So a lot of different foods for me to try for the first time, but also like adjacent to things that I know that I would really enjoy. And their space is so cute. The best thing about it is there's this like wraparound bar that is right in the center of the restaurant and these big windows. So it really feels like a neighborhood little pocket off of this busy street. I'm wondering if either of you have heard about the spot, tried it, or have driven past it, because it's just continued to catch my eye.
Yeah, I've never heard of Tap Tap PDX, but as you were describing the food, I wondered if the attention and the acclaim that Khan is getting, if it's lending a stage to Haitian food, because I'm starting to see more and more Haitian cuisine pop up, and I just hope that is what's happening, because please, more Haitian food.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree, Claudia. I had actually thought about that myself when I was looking into this restaurant, because the timeline of when they opened their cart and expanded to the brick and mortar aligns pretty well with a lot of the press that Khan was getting, which is really exciting. I honestly can't get enough of the options that we have in Portland for different cultural cuisines, and to add Haitian food to the list is just like awesome.
Well, what about you, John? What are you looking in food-wise?
Well, I'm sort of on the opposite end of like, I'm moving into a new neighborhood and I'm figuring out what my staples are going to be. So I was sort of like, okay, what is my cheap pizza going to be? Well, I found a list online of the cheapest pizzas in Portland.
No
This guy put
way.
together a giant spreadsheet with nearly 300 pizzerias on it and
Wow.
saying exactly what the price of a cheese pizza is at all these places to find the least expensive cheese pizza in the city of Portland.
That's amazing.
The cheapest one is Costco. Big
Of course
surprise.
it is.
But the cheapest from an actual pizzeria is in my neighborhood, and it is Rovente
Oh.
Pizzeria. Have you guys been there before?
No.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
good. It's good. But they have a deal, a carryout deal. For $15, you can get an 18-inch cheese pizza out the door. And that is, according to this spreadsheet, the cheapest large cheese pizza in all of Portland.
I'm surprised you haven't had Rovente before because it was literally right across from our old office.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I haven't had it since I worked at OPB. I would go there for like a lunch slice sometimes.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I have a lot of Rovente in my future now that I am right around the corner from it. But it is like kind of a fun list. We'll also throw it in the show notes, of just laboriously going through each and every menu in the city of Portland and sort of like putting in like what they each cost. So
Yeah. I'm looking at it. I mean, if I'm quiet, it's because I'm looking through it right now.
Yeah.
And it's alphabetical. It's just really cool. Wow. Whoever did this, thank you.
yeah, thanks to Reddit for surfacing this for me.
I'm excited to learn all about Humboldt, by the way, John, because of
Yeah.
course, St. John's is going to miss you. But also, what is Humboldt? I feel like we all know about each other's neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Because it just comes up in conversation when we're recommending things, when we're talking about things. So yeah, Humboldt. This is exciting.
And everybody out there send me like Humboldt Rex as well. I'd love to know where all my new neighbors are hanging out and what's good to eat there too.
Oh my God, maybe you can do a neighborhood guide.
I'm going to need to wait a couple months until I'm settled in. That'd be the most Portland thing to be like, I just moved into this neighborhood last week. Let me tell you everything about it.
John needs someone else to give him a neighborhood
I
guide
know,
right
but
now.
I just thought it would be really funny. It was John, and he's just like, so let me tell you about my living room.
Yes, I'll tell you everywhere I've eaten in the past 6 days, which are the best places.
Well, you guys, I am looking at something a little bit more coastal. So
Ooh.
Winter Waters. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
Okay, so I just learned about it, but it's been happening for a few years now. It's a culinary event happening all month up and down the coast and larger nearby cities. Similar to Oregon Truffle Month, it's celebrating a very distinct local ingredient, which is seaweed. And even though seaweed is what Winter Waters is mainly focused on, it has expanded to include other locally caught and farmed seafood. So there's pop-ups happening everywhere, including Portland and Eugene, like Takibi, a sushi restaurant in Northwest Portland, teamed up with the Oregon Albacore Commission and just sold out an albacore omakase. But there are still tickets for
Oh my
a
gosh.
February 13th Galentine's dinner where chef Malin Chavez of Nakar Oysters will be joining the team at Taste Bud in Multnomah Village. And I'm reading the description now. Join us for a special night of seaweed-centric bites and special dishes, including sea-focused pizzas, breads, and salads from the team of Taste Bud and Raw Bar with a Baja twist from Chef Maylene. So I'm pretty excited to check this out. This looks so good.
This looks so great. You guys are setting the bar
Yeah.
so much higher for what you intend to
Fucking
eat this
cheapest
month.
pizza PDF. Oh, you mean aside from your freaking Google Doc? Well, it's what you're looking for this month. This is a personal list, and that's what you were looking for this month. You were looking for cheap pizza.
This looks so much fun, Claudia. I've never heard of this.
I know,
Oh.
same.
I'm just scrolling through this website and my mouth is watering because I cannot get enough of this style of cuisine, just like fresh, straight from the ocean. And the fact that these events are kind of spread apart everywhere in different areas that you would want to go and visit anyway is so special to me. I think I got to go to this one.
Yeah. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
February, you guys. What the fuck?
I know. I'm like getting overwhelmed by all of
Where
this
have you
right
been
now.
all our life,
I know,
February?
I'm being honest. I'm like, February, what is going on? Like, this is a thing, like Winter Waters has been happening for a few years now, every February, because they're trying to get people still engaged in winter. Like, hey, don't go in your hole. Come out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're at the point where we share our hack for the month. This is become like kind of our favorite / most competitive segment because John tends to just be really good at it. But I feel like last month, I think we all took the crown.
Yeah.
Like we all had really good hacks. But I still don't want to go first. So Julia, do you want to start?
I'll go
Share
ahead.
Let's give us a hack.
So I think it's hilarious that we've spent this entire time talking about how there's just too much to do in the month of February because I find that February is probably one of the hardest months for folks when it comes to wanting to just like stay inside and not go anywhere, which maybe is a reason why all these events are going on. But one of the things that's inspiring me to get out this month and is going to make the month pass quicker is I'm having a lot of folks come out and visit me just by chance, basically all at once. And I thought in my mind, I was like, this is so relieving because it's going to make the month pass so quickly. I can't wait to show people around. But then I had realized you don't have to wait for someone to visit you to go and do that. And because so many folks want to stay holed up inside, February is kind of the perfect month to go out and do these touristy type things. So leaning into my absolute favorite thing to do right now that's igniting my joy for this city is touring different neighborhood main streets. For example, like downtown Montevilla, North Lombard Street in St. John's. John, I'm excited to hear about whatever main street in Humboldt that's going to come out. And my favorite way to do it is to go for a long walk and just planning out a route. And I have a route for you. So my favorite right now is to start somewhere around Northeast Sandy and 28th. I'm biased because that's my neighborhood. And basically follow that all the way south to Division. You'll cross Belmont, you'll cross Hawthorne. So there's opportunities to make a pivot and hang out in those Main Street areas. But once you hit Division, walk all the way east until you hit about 37th. And then walk all the way back north. You're going to walk through Laurelhurst Park. You can stop there, or if you're super ambitious, you can make plans to go and see a movie at Hollywood Theater to kind of rest your feet at the end of this journey. Altogether, it's about a 2-hour loop. It's about 5 miles, and there's so many destinations on the way. It's the perfect way to take yourself out. It's a perfect way to show people around town. And I'm just like such an advocate for walking these streets nowadays because it's a way to just feel connected and get out of the car and see things you don't usually see in these residential neighborhoods.
I'm curious what happened to you running and with pastries. Is this an extension?
This was my way into getting used to, I guess, like navigating city blocks. So I've been going on really long walks to ease into the runs. So the running is coming.
So you haven't started running yet?
I haven't started running
you're
yet.
just a little background. One of Julia's New Year's resolutions was to go on these bakery runs.
Yeah.
In a sense, because she wanted to combine running in the morning and trying out new bakeries.
Yeah.
So I just thought, since you're like, now I'm walking, I was just like, wait, what happened to the runs then?
She's walking here.
Running with pastries, walking
Okay.
with pizza. I mean, maybe by March you can get like a Segway.
No, I love that connection because it's really where this stems from is I want to get familiar with these different routes and these neighborhoods and see what's there. And you have to walk it. You have to really get a sense of
I
like
love this ramp up.
how much elevation there is, like where the sidewalks end, because that happens.
Yeah, of course, Julia. Of course. Yeah, you don't want to just hit the pavement that you might
Catch
trip.
me in a few months. I'll be running these routes.
Go right off a cliff.
Yeah, who knows?
What happened to poor Julia? She just ran straight off a bridge right into the river.
There was a croissant just the size of her head.
It was
It
blinding.
obscured her view.
I think the point is get out of the car, take the bus if you need to. But like, I don't know. I think it's a really special way to feel connected to the city. It makes you feel like you're a tourist in your own town.
No, that's great. And to really like be intentional about getting outside and seeing the city in February. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, John?
Also moving centric. One of the things that I've really, I mean, as you know, this like takes up your whole life for a couple of weeks when you're in the middle of it. The thing that I've been dealing with is, okay, I'm moving most of my stuff with me, but I have an old couch. And it is not like donatable. It is not Facebook saleable. I'm like, I just need to get rid of this thing.
I've sat on that couch. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean,
and it's fine. It's fine. But
it's fine.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It's done its tour of duty. So I've sort of been like, how do you get rid of big stuff in Portland? I started researching it. And it turns out that the city has a bunch of really good links with information on how to do it. So here's what I've learned about getting rid of crap that you don't want in Portland. The first thing that you want to check out, there's this map called Resourceful PDX. Have you guys heard of this? Resourcefulpdx.com. It has a map of all the different places that you can donate things. So like resale stores. So like if you have paint that you want to get rid of, and then like tool libraries where like maybe you can offload old tools, or like bike co-ops where you can like get rid of old bike parts.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's like a ton
John.
of like really great options.
Damn it, John.
Free Geek also, which will take used electronics and computers and stuff and make sure that they get to people that are actually going to use them. But what I didn't know, and maybe everyone's going to be like, duh, John, this is the most obvious thing in the world. You can actually get in touch with your garbage carrier and set up a bulk pickup if you have something really big that you want to get rid of. I got in touch with them. I'm like, I've got this couch and I just like want to get rid of it. They're like, yeah, it'll be $30. Just schedule it ahead of time. And then
It's pretty cheap,
and when
yeah.
they come through on your normal trash day, they'll just know that your house has the couch pickup. They'll take it away. So,
That's so cool.
you know, that's
Yeah.
sort of like a point of last resort. Obviously, there's all these options to recycle things if you want to. But if you do just have a piece of junk, you can just count on them to haul it away.
That's great.
Well, by the way, John, excellent hack.
Thank you.
I got to tell you.
Just not fair.
Yeah, that might be the February hack. But did you know that the Portland Farmers Market at Portland State University was ranked the #2 winter market in the country?
Really?
Yeah, it was by the Agricultural Machinery Marketplace, Excavator Parts Direct.
Oh my! When I need agricultural machinery,
God,
I
well,
always
you
shop
should have
at
mentioned
Excavator
that.
Parts Direct.
I know. So I saw this, the Oregonian put it up. It's kind of funny, you know, and I was like, oh, what? But I was just like, wait a minute. Do people not know that there's still winter farmers markets? And I just wanted to shout out like, hey guys, don't forget, like there are still farmers out there selling their rutabagas and artisans out there doing their stuff.
Yeah.
And the Portland State University farmers market is year round. So it's still going strong, but there are other winter markets happening probably near you. So we're going to link to the OregonFarmersMarkets.org. But I also wanted to tell you, John, do you know what the #1 farmers market in the country is, according to Excavator Parts Direct?
I don't. No, what is it?
The Ann Arbor Farmers Market in Michigan.
Oh, the Ann Arbor Farmers Market.
I was going to ask, have you been to that one?
Did you know that my sister used to run the Ann Arbor Farmers Market?
I remember.
I feel like you guys are just trading did you knows. Did you know? I feel like I need one too. I don't
Do you have a
one.
did you know for us?
No.
Come on, give us an Ann Arbor Farmers Market
No,
fact.
I wasn't ready for this.
I just thought it was so cool. You know, because John, your sister has been on the show to discuss farmers markets.
Yeah.
And it was just so much connection. We also have an episode with her where she talks about winter vegetables. So maybe we could link to that too, just
Sure.
to
We
remind.
should.
Yeah.
Don't be like me and Julia. Don't just eat dumplings and pizza all winter. Be like Claudia and get some fresh vegetables.
Yeah, and seaweed. Well, here's the part of the show where it's not a competition, but one of us will win today. Which of the things that we all suggested are we all going to do together?
Well, the only thing that you can count on me doing is sitting in my house and eating cheapest pizza. So if we do need to all get it together and do it, that is kind of the only option this month.
One last hang on that couch.
One last hang
eating
on the couch.
Some Rovente.
Eating some cheap pizza. But the most appealing, I think, is your seaweed fest, Claudia. That's
I think so
Winter
too.
Waters, yeah.
Yeah.
You could hear it in my voice when I was giving you my thoughts on it. I just am obsessed with it now, so I feel like we have to go.
Are we doing a Galentine's? Are we doing a Galentine's? A Taste Bud? Which, by the way, Taste Bud, super underrated pizza. Used to be one of my faves. Always hit the spot. Anyhow, so do I win?
I think you do.
Well, how about this?
Am I the winner?
You guys come over, haul some boxes.
No.
Don't do that.
Immediately no.
Don't do that
I'll
thing.
buy us some Rovente pizza,
Oh my
and
God.
then we can all go out to dinner
The
at night.
cheapest pizza you're going to reward us
buy you
with
the
helping you
cheapest
move.
pizza.
You're going to find us literally the cheapest pizza in your freaking neighborhood. You know, you're good at hacks. You're not good at inviting people over to move boxes.
I'm not good at entertaining.
No, it's terrible.
This was John's plan the entire time.
Oh my God. Well, you guys, I'm happy to know that I won.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Claudia, Congratulations.
I love that we do own it like it was our event. Like we planned like Winter Waters, everyone. You're welcome. Well, this is obviously not the end all of what to do in February. Whatever you're doing out there, we want to hear about it. Please let us know. If there's something that you're just like, oh, every February this happens and you guys don't know about it, you didn't mention it, like, please email us, portland@citycast.fm. We want to hear about it. John, Julia, thanks for hanging out with me.
Yeah, thanks, Claudia.
Happy February.
Happy February, everyone. That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend, rate or leave us a review. It really does help us out. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.